Good morning, everyone. Just taking a moment to see you all here today. It's really great to see everybody. It's a beautiful day out, a little cloudy, but I'm liking the warm weather. Do you like the warm weather? Beautiful weather. As some of you know, I'll be at the ERC conference for the next few days, so I was looking to do something today with some free time that I have between 2 o'clock and 7 o'clock. So I was looking, the new Chosen movie's out. Did you guys see that? There's, if you watch The Chosen, around here. We go to every once in a while. We go to the movies, visit to the movies nowadays, but even for most movies to see, and they have to watch them. There's another day, only have maybe today's all moving. For those of you every day, I'm like a movie. Year. And then how many out there living the dream? Is Tom living the dream here? All right. Well, I got that definition in the English dictionary, and it says living the dream is that lifestyle that's perceived as wonderful or perfect. Are we still living the dream? Wonderful I can get. Perfect, not so much. But again, that's the English definition of it. We look around and we see people who we think are living the dream, and we might look at their lives as being perfect, or look at their lives not having trouble, and sometimes we wish our lives were the same as theirs. And then I start thinking about, well, who in the Bible is living the dream? Who in the Bible is living the dream? And any nominations? So I came up with one person, and his name was Job. You ever think of Job? And here's the thing: Job might not be the first person you go to, because what do we tie with Job? What is Noah's the boat, and Moses is the the Ten Commandments and all that stuff. Job we tie to a lot of problems, a lot of trouble. And I started reading the book of Job. But I'm going to warn you that Job is a very long book of the Bible. We are going to do a crash course in the life of Job today. Because Job's life is interesting. It starts out, Job 1, that there was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job. And that man was blameless and upright, and one who feared God and shunned evil. So I read that, Job's a pretty good guy. But Job is not sinless. Sometimes we'll look at the people in the Bible and we'll think, oh, that guy he found God's favor because he was better than I am, or he lived a better life than I did. But that's not true. Job was not sinless. And you know how I know Job was not sinless? Is because Job was a real person. The other thing that we tag on to the people in the Bible, sometimes we think they're just a made-up character. People that live beyond standards that are possible for us, so we give them a fictitious identity. But it has been proven historically that Job indeed lived on this earth, was a person. As we know, anyone born of this earth, short of Jesus himself, has sin in their life. What was Job living the dream? So go on, and it said, and 7 sons and 3 daughters were born to him. So he had children. Also his possessions were 7,000 sheep, 3,000 camels, 500 yoke of oxen, 500 female donkeys, and a very large household. So that this man was the greatest of all the people of the East. Looking at Job there, I'd say he's living the dream. Other people looked to him as respectful and loved, a family man who was very wealthy. I can see that definition. And went on to say that, and his sons would go and feast in their houses. The kids moved out of the house. That's a good thing, too. It said on each of his appointed day, he would send and invite their sisters to eat and drink with them. They would have birthday parties to celebrate one another. That's what they mean by appointed day. So it was when the days of feasting had run their course that Job would send and sanctify them. He would rise early in the morning and offer burnt offerings according to the number of them. For Job said, it may be that my sons have sinned and cursed God in their hearts. Thus Job did regularly. So they had a close family. They celebrated birthday parties together. The brothers invited their sisters over to the house so they could eat and drink together and be in one another's company. Job understood that they were no more sinless than he was, so he went over and he would have offerings, burnt offerings to them, so that he too could protect them. He was a good father to the children, and the children loved one another, and he spent time together. So yeah, that's still living the dream. Family's important. Getting together and seeing each other brings joy to your heart. Job had a good life. So now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord. And Satan also came among them. And the Lord said to Satan, from where do you come? I paused there for a second. I'm like, wait, what's Satan doing up there with all the angels and stuff? Did he get kicked out of heaven? Isn't he in hell somewhere? The answer is no. A lot of times when we think of Satan, the devil, whatever, we picture that little red guy covered, surrounded in flames, with his pitchfork and stuff in hell. That was an image created by man. And now I always think that the image was created by man to give us the impression that Satan is in a safe place. Satan's away from us. But look at his answer. So Satan answered the Lord and said, oh, I was from going to and from earth and walking back and forth on it. So Satan's not in hell. Satan's all around us. Do you really think of it that way? Have you ever considered that Satan is all around us? That just blew my mind, because I think we picture it differently. We picture it, he's in hell. He's in hell.